Hey friends, it's Amanda Lua, founder of AML Equestrian Coaching, and if you have landed here on this video, it is because you need help with your pole work. This little video is in relation to pole distances that you need to know when you're setting out poles patterns. So for walk, trot and canter, the universal distances, what you need to know in how to adjust those distances for your individual horses, and also a little bit of advice for the dressage purists for once they get to elementary and above. Hope it helps. It's the number one question I get asked every single day is what distances to set poles out, how to set them out. Here's a little video. Hope it helps. If you have any questions, send me an email via my website, amlequestriancoaching.com.au, or via my Facebook page, AML Equestrian Coaching. Happy riding, everyone.
Tape measure. I've got a little King Chrome 2 meter long tape measure. It's a key ring. It can hang off your belt. Really handy to have to check your distances. Secondly, I'm going to explain to you about the size of poles that I use, and then we'll run through distances. So the size of poles that I use is a 3.6 meter long pole. I prefer a 3.6 meter long pole for two reasons. One is that I use them for jumping as well, and I like that length for jumping. And two, they create a better distance when we're setting out our triangles. The other thing that is really good about having a 3.6 meter long pole is it's roughly 12 feet. So when we're talking about canter strides, we're talking in feet because it's pole work has generally been used to improve jumping over the decades. So canter strides are still referred to as feet and not meters. And when you have a 3.6 meter long pole, you can practice dividing that into four and getting your steps right for your 12 feet. So you would go 3, 6, 9, 12, and that teaches you what your individual stride length is to get your 12 feet, which is one canter stride. So let's go back to the walk distance. Walk universally is between 60 centimeters and a meter, although I have had some warm bloods and larger thoroughbreds actually doing up to 1.10 m for their walk poles, which is amazing. Your trot distance for your standard trot distance is anywhere from 1.25 m to 1.40 m, and then your standard canter distances are 12 feet for one stride and 9 feet for a bounce. With the ponies, that obviously goes down another 5 to 10 centimeters depending on what the pony's length of stride is. I have had ponies through that can trot like a big horse, so it's just something that you have to adjust for your individual horse when you're doing pole work. So let's talk about the walk distance again. So I'm going to roll this in, and we want to get it down to 80 centimeters, which is quite on the ground. Your pole work distances look so much smaller than when you're setting them up to jump. So 80 centimeters on the ground looks really quite narrow. Taking it right down, I reckon I'm about there. It might be a little bit short. And when you measure your poles with and your distances with a tape, go from the inside of each pole. So going from the inside edge. Oh, so I've got it actually a little bit short. That's 70. Take it out a fraction. And then I'm a little long. So there's there at 80 centimeters. And it doesn't have to be exact. You can have it out 1 or 2 centimeters. It doesn't matter. When you're training your walk poles, make sure that your horse gets one step in between each pole. Walk poles really train feel because you don't have natural momentum, so you have to make sure that your aids are on point and the timing of your aids is good to maintain a good quality walk, so they get one step between each pole and they don't come in and then put one step and then chip strides. That's not what we want. We're not training anything good when that happens. You want to make sure that they're marching, good quality of pace, come through, one step in, one step out. When you've got a long line of walk poles, it's actually quite hard. Probably one of the harder exercises to do when you're training pole work. I think the most feedback I got for my 20-day horse movement challenge was how difficult the walk poles were, and that was only 6 in a row. Alrighty, so let's do your trot pole distance. Roll it out. I'm going to go to 1.30 m. So my 1.30 m will be about there. Inside of the pole. The inside of the pole. I'm at about 1.35 m. I'll roll it in a fraction. And then I'm at 1.30 m. So as she rolls back out. So if you have a little bit of a bent pole, sometimes you got to rotate them a fraction to get them to stay where they are. What I would advise when you're setting your pole workout is set it out roughly to where you want it for the pattern, and then go around and measure your distances and make sure that your distances are correct. So that's your trot. And then canter, we're going to roll it out again. So we'll go 9 feet for a bounce first. So back of your foot to the pole, step it out, 3, 6, 9. I just want a little bit more of a rotation there. And there's no extra distance for takeoff and landing. We're not jumping. You want the horse to come in and just take off from about 2 feet out with your bounce poles, land in the middle and out again. We don't want to create a jump with the poles. We want to just improve the quality of the canter, get the horse a little more mobile through its lumbar and spine end. Now with your one stride, we're going to roll it out again. So we'll go 3, 6, 9, 12. Mark it in the ground. And I'll check it again. Back of my heel to the pole. 3, 6, 9, 12. Probably a little bit more out. Now when I'm training singular canter strides, I do like to add a little bit of extra distance, because otherwise the horse's heel have to land here and take off with their toes at the start of the second pole. So, because that's the 12 feet and that's the actual distance of their canter stride. So we want to roll it out a fraction. So I'll roll it out another foot or so when I'm training singular canter strides. This is a show jumping distance though. So if you're a dressage purist, you want to roll it in. So because dressage, once they get to sort of elementary medium level, their canter stride becomes a lot shorter, and this will just make you feel really strung out, this distance. So when you're training canter and you're a dressage purist and you're just using pole work for cross training and to create a little bit more mobility and strength in your horses, then keep your canter distances a little bit shorter. Again, when you are training with your individual horses, try and figure out what their individual distances are that suit them. So you've got your universal distances that I've just run through, which is your walk, which is 60 centimeters to a meter. Your trot is 1.25 m to 1.40 m, and your canter is approximately 12 feet. But when you're training your own individual horse, so if you have a pony, obviously those distances are going to be shorter. If you have a larger horse and they're not a dressage purist, sometimes the distances are going to be longer than those universal distances. But the dressage purist, especially with your canter work, you need to bring the distances down. If you're training a collected trot, then your distances need to come right down. And to gauge what distance you need for your individual horse, I advise to have somebody on the ground measuring and moving poles in and out to suit what your horse can do best, and then making a note of what the distances are that suit your individual horse, so that you can maximize the purpose of the pattern that you've set out to train. And if you've got any questions, guys, please hit me up, just send me an email or flick me a message on Facebook on my AML Equestrian Coaching Facebook page. Otherwise, good luck, enjoy your pole work, and I hope that helps everybody and answers everyone's question.